Your take on what happened at the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to yours, Shane. I mean, politicians make mistakes. Politicians don't always get things right. I'm talking about mainstream politicians that are elected. But we are trying to tell people the truth, and we're trying to protect people and save lives through this pandemic, and we're working night and day to do that. And we're, of course, open for criticism and questioning all the time. But some of the conspiracy theories that are being used to inspire hatred and anger and division, that drove the motivation behind the kind of thuggery that we saw over the weekend, that the guards had to handle in a professional manner, but in really difficult circumstances. We've got to call that out for what it is, and hope that most right-thinking people reject it out of hand, because these are people who are trying to recruit sometimes vulnerable people, but people who are struggling with the pandemic because their businesses aren't open. They may be stressed. Many people are. This has been a very, very difficult year for so many people. But we've got to close this out now in the next few months. And we can do that. We have a vaccination program now that's very much up and running and accelerating. And by midsummer, the vast majority of people who want to be vaccinated will be vaccinated, and we will be moving to a much better place in the
Let's
context
hope so.
of this pandemic.
Just finally on this, Minister, reports today that the Tánaiste, your colleague Leo Varadkar, is going to write to the digital media companies to raise concerns over their platforms being used to plan events that go against public health laws. Do you think that those digital media companies need to do more to stop themselves being used as a way of disseminating misinformation and also the organisation of these meetings?
I do. I think digital media companies need to do more in a number of areas, whether it's bullying, whether it's targeting people with hate speech, or whether it's allowing their platforms to be used to facilitate efforts to undermine the state or to create significant risk in the context of public health concerns. I mean, these are extraordinarily powerful organisations that make huge sums of money. They're welcome in Ireland, and we provide a platform for global reach in many ways for many of these platforms, but they do have a responsibility as well, and government needs to work with them to make sure that they are following through on that responsibility.